Hey everyone, hope all is well. I wanted to take a quick look at the Cisco Catalyst 9300s. I don't know if you've taken a look at the datasheet recently, but there are 84 different models to choose from. So thank you, Cisco, I guess. There's a lot of different options. So I wanted to try to break down the available models and a quick way to see if we couldn't kind of condense what the differences are. So I did that in a spreadsheet. And so let's just kind of dig in real quick. Your base, there's 4 different models, first of all. So there's the C9300, there's a C9300L, there's a C9300LM, and there's a C9300X. They are basically using 3 different ASICs, which, as you may know, contribute to the speed of the switch. And so you'll see as we look through these different switches that there's basically 3 different levels of computing power, if you will, processing power. So your C9300s are your traditional 9300, 3750, 3850 replacement. It's got modular uplinks, as you can see here. It's got your 24 and 48 port switches, mostly 1 gig. Here's the C9324UX is 24 ports of multi-gig UPoE, and the 24UXB is also 24 ports of multi-gig UPoE, and that is all the way up to 10 gig. There's a couple odd ones. So the C9348UN is 48 ports of 5G. And then there's a 48 UXM, which is 48 ports of multi-gig up to 2.5G with 12 full multi-gig ports. So a couple of different options in the multi-gig universe. The port types are either going to be data, PoE plus, UPoE, or UPoE plus. They're all stackable, of course, with StackWise 480, so a 480 gigabit backplane. Stack power, yes, of course. And there's a couple of different models within them. So there's a C9300-B, it's referred to as, but the C9324UB is a 24 port 1 gig UPoE switch with a new feature. It's called a deep buffer technology. Let's take a look at it. So the deep buffer technology is they have deeper buffers to address the requirements of rich multimedia, lossless content delivery, and large routing tables in a fixed access solution. So what's that really mean? Basically, if you're looking at the data sheet, your higher scale models, deep buffer models are going to have more capability. So 64,000 total MAC addresses versus 32, 112 number of IPv4 routes versus 32, 39, and so forth. So they're just a faster switch. Let's hop into the other one that you'll see is a UL1069. And so the UL1069 is a new NEMA standard, which is specifically for nurse calling systems. So a NEMA signaling, protection, and communication section, standard for hospital signaling and nurse call equipment. And basically what it is, devices defined as core or primary would be subject to full UL1069 testing and verification for both the electric, shock hazard, fire, safety, and reliability. So basically these guys just kind of got a rubber stamp that they've been tested by this UL1069 for the sake of dropping these into hospitals and specifically connecting nurse calling systems. So that's what those 2 are. I mean, you're kind of probably not looking at these special switches unless you have a specific need. So go ahead and kind of remove those. Oh, by the way, also I removed all of the -E-A, which makes up for most of the 84 switches, right? So we're going to cut the number of 84 options down to 42, and so that's why every single one of these switches comes with either Essentials or Advantage, of course. And so that's your C9300, C9300L. This is a new kind of fixed uplink config model. It's kind of like an old, 3560X, I guess. So it's the same thing as the 9300s. They're going to be a little bit less expensive, a little bit less powerful, stack-wise 320. So 320 gigabit backplanes. You've got the same data, PoE plus, UPoE ports. They're all 1G at either 24 or 48 ports. So it's a pretty kind of standard simple switch, but 9300Ls can only be stacked with other 9300Ls. 9300s can only stack with 9300s. So you got to be careful to make sure that you're using the right product across the board. The 9300LM, this is another new switch that maybe was produced specifically for someone that has an application where they've got a physical environment restraint. So this is a 9300 mini switch, and it's not that much mini compared to the other switches. Here's a good little illustration from one of the Cisco Live things. So a regular C9300L is going to be 19.2 inches deep. The 9300LM is only going to be 12 to 13 inches deep. So if you're having an issue with space, then maybe the LM is your solution. But again, I probably don't see those being very widely adopted. They've got fixed SFP28, so 25G10, 25G uplink mod. So maybe it's specifically for a cabinet of some sort. And the C9300X is a newer model that's kind of just been released. These are using a new ASIC 2.0, and let me see that real quick. So it's the UADP 2.0 SEC. Sorry, it's a SEC versus a 2.0 or 2.0 XL. The 2.0 XL are in your 9300s, non-XLs are in some of the lower end 9300s and 9300Ls, but the 9300Xs use the UADP 2.0 SEC, which is focused on security with a dedicated 100G encryption engine with higher switching capacity than XL ASIC, but similar scale as non-XL. So these are going to be faster. They will allow you to get to 1 terabyte stacking backplane. And then also they have network modules, so it is modular network modules that offer 100G uplinks, and these are all going to be pretty beefy from the get-go. So this is 12 25G ports, 24 multi-gig ports, and 24 25G ports, 36, 48, and so forth. So these are kind of your basic rundown of switches for the most part. Really, it comes down to whether or not you need PoE or not, and what uplink mods you need, whether they're fixed or not. But there's your 9300s, somewhat reduced to a more manageable number of products. Thank you. If you have any questions about differences in PoE or MGig or stack power or stack wise, please look at our other videos. Have a great day.